I got a hold of the Chase variant of the Molly Holly Legends figure from Series 16, avoiding the Mighty Molly costume that's kind of the regular release, because it's a little later 2000s, trying to keep my collection closer to the 90s Attitude Era and not quite that far into that time period. I want to open it, check it out, talk about what this figure really means. So out of the box here we can see the Mighty Molly kind of tiara head and of course the cloth cape, which is pretty useless to this release because the attire does not match. So we pretty much have to ditch that. They probably could have saved some cost, not included that, because it doesn't fit the costume, pretty useless. Nice face, of course, with it, but doesn't fit the attire. So we have the alternate head that's just kind of more the Molly Holly, first real character she had in the WWF after leaving WCW as Miss Madness, ooh yeah, turning into Mona when they actually tried to get some women's wrestling going on WCW. So this is the head that matches this attire. Pop that on. She just has her kind of tank top with the little arrows, which are supposed to be on the legs, I think. Every picture I can find is supposed to have the same symbols on the pants, so that's a little skipped one, unless maybe just her debut match, if that's what this is supposed to be. She didn't have the symbols on the pants quite yet. Supposed to be like a silver. This is kind of like a weird light blue shade, so it's a little off, a little strange. But I'm grabbing this as an offering because there's so few women's wrestlers from the Attitude Era made into figures. I'm kind of jumping on the chance here. She comes with the fists that are probably a little more suited, again, for that Mighty Molly, kind of doing the superhero poses. But then she comes with these accessory holding hands that might be a little better for her. Get those put in. Really the implication here, I guess maybe just because it was easy to swap the Mighty Molly costume for this one and kind of do the two heads. But we're left with Molly Holly and we don't have good Mattel figures of her cousins, Hardcore Holly and Crash Holly. So I'm hoping maybe at some point, somehow, some way, we can get them at the very least Hardcore Holly. Big part of the Attitude Era there, so kind of a character connected to other wrestlers, but we don't have figures of those wrestlers, so that always kind of bugs me with the implications there. But even with that, just more women's wrestlers from this time period. Whereas like Ivory and Jacqueline, just some basic women of the Attitude Era here. This is a very late one here, like very end of 2000 into 2001. She kind of had this run. Again, I'm stretching my collection here, but I'm just kind of desperate for women's wrestlers of the time. Maybe somebody to put a women's championship on, although I don't know if she won it as this gimmick. Actually, I have to look that up. Just missing the WWF No Mercy game, just debuting just a little bit too late. But wasn't pricey to get a hold of. Plenty around, even the variant like this. Sometimes it's hard to get a hold of. It's just kind of sad the alternate bits are kind of worthless with it, and alternately the normal release, the Molly Holly head, is kind of not fitting for that body. A little weird the way they did that with the accessories. But happy to have her. I wouldn't mind getting her in that kind of WCW appearance because she did wrestle quite a bit there. That would really fit with my collection as well. I just wanted to show this off just because it was like kind of a cool grab, something a little different for my kind of 90s collection of WWF and WCW, which I open up and show here every time I get one. So if that's a time period you're interested in seeing, you want to stick around right here. That way I can see you in the next video.